Hey Lala, you did your video on attention span, and yeah, I find that if someone doesn't put a hook in the first 60 seconds or so of their video, I have become concerned that they actually might not have anything to say. But typically, like I like a lot of videos I'll put on and listen to and watch at, almost like someone's in the room talking. And while I'm playing with the dogs or something like that, I'll listen to them. So I'll listen to some long videos. I have listened to the hour-long or the hour-and-a-half-long videos, like over dinner and pausing them occasionally and whatnot. But one interesting thing, so aside from attention span, oddly enough, mine could be rather long. I find that there's an interesting thing about talking. Like, for instance, in the first 60 seconds, people who don't say anything. There's some people that will go much longer and never say anything, almost as if the reason to talk is to talk. And I don't think it is really in love with the sound of their own voice. Maybe actually it's a fear of silence. But I've had a bunch of experiences recently. I'll tell you about these actually. I was going to make this short, but I had a bunch of different people talk to me. And it seemed to me that they wanted to interact with me and they wanted to talk with me, but it didn't seem to have a purpose. Like, one guy was asking me long, complicated directions, asking me about all the turns in the area, and when I leaned forward to make myself more clear, I noticed he had one of those dashboard map systems, and I could see his destination already highlighted. And I said, "Well, it looks like you already have the directions right here." And he looked embarrassed. I think he actually just wanted to talk, and he didn't know how to go about it, so he asked me directions. I think that happens a lot. Because one time I was talking to somebody who was asking me these questions, and I'm like, "Oh, I could get you all the answers." And I start to move away, and he says, "No, I don't really want to know. I'm just curious." He just blurted it out. So I think some people just talk, I guess they're just curious to talk to me, or talk to anybody. So it's bizarre to me. Like, it's almost like it's, as you say, like, the back and forth of conversation. That's what they want. And so a lot of times it does take the form of questions. But I think sometimes, like, especially people who are in sports, they're like, "Did you see, the such and such alligators fight the such and such bears?" I think it's that. It's the pleasure of exchanging words, because they both watch the game. Like, "Yeah, I like the alligators. I like the alligators too. Oh man, how about when in '92 when that kind of thing." Which I would so much rather just be quiet. It's not that I'm averse to talking, of course. But I don't want to talk for curiosity's sake. I'm curious to talk. I'd be curious to learn. I ask questions because I really want to know. I would never ask anybody directions to someplace I knew how to get to. Even if I'd never been there before, if I have the map, I'm not going to ask somebody, I'll just double check the map with this guy here. I wouldn't do that. I would drive, and if the map failed me, then I would go talk to somebody, or I would call the place I was going and said, "Could you direct me from here to you?" I certainly wouldn't then strike up a conversation. I'm not antisocial as much as I sound, I assure you. All right, Lala. See you in the tubes.